So let's now talk about implementing Byzantine reliable broadcast. And the specific algorithm that we are going to discuss is called Bracha Broadcast. And this is a quite famous algorithm, and it is named after its inventor, Gabriel Bracha, who proposed this algorithm back in 1987. So in the book, this algorithm is called Authenticated Double Echo Broadcast, and this is algorithm 3.18. So Bracha Broadcast is one of the most widely used BFT primitives, and it found many applications, for example, in the context of digital currency and blockchains. So it assumes that we have at most sort of processes in our system that can behave in Byzantine fashion. So we have basically that n is greater than 3f, or f is less than 1/3 of the system. So for simplicity in our presentation of the algorithm in the slides, we will assume that n is exactly equal to 3f plus 1. So the way the algorithm is formulated in the textbook is actually it actually deals with a more general case when n is strictly greater than 3f, but the techniques are exactly the same. So the essence is exactly the same, and so just to simplify the presentation, we will make this assumption that n is exactly 3f plus 1. So having n equals 3f plus 1 means that any two sets containing at least two f plus 1 processes, so in this formula those sets are any sets q1 and q2, intersect in at least f plus 1 processes. And this is simply because we have 3 f plus 1 processes in total, and we are taking the big majority of this process. So 2f plus 1 is what is called super majority. Okay, so any two super majorities intersect in at least f plus 1 processes, and that means that since we have at most f faulty processes in the system, that the intersection will include at least one correct process. Okay, so this assumption is very important in how the algorithm is designed, as you will see shortly. Okay, so this is the first two phases of Bracha broadcast algorithm. So the algorithm operates in phases, and there are overall three phases. So here we show the first two phases. So the first phase is called initial broadcast phase, or in the book it is called send phase. So in the initial broadcast phase, the sender, the distinguished sender S that we assumed for every instance of Byzantine reliable broadcast, we only have one server, sends message M to all processes. So then a process receiving M directly from the sender for the first time. Okay, so these two things are actually important, as we will see. So a process receives M directly from S, not from another process that claims to hear this message as being sent by S. Okay, so that's preclude message forging, as we will see. And for the first time, okay, so that's the first time it received any message, will rebroadcast this message to all other processes. So we already encountered this rebroadcasting technique that we called echo. So the echoing technique actually originated from Bracha broadcast and was first applied in the context of Byzantine fault-tolerant broadcast algorithms. Okay, so this is why algorithm is also called double echo broadcast in the book. So this message echo M will be rebroadcast to all processes by any process that receives M directly from the source for the first time. Okay, so this phase of echoing a message is called the echo phase. So here is an example of the first two phases of Bracha broadcast algorithm. So in this example, as in all the examples in this lecture, we will assume that we have at most one Byzantine process, and we have in total 3 f+1 and f=1 4 processes in the system. So here we have 4 processes, P1 to P4, and the first one is the sender S. So in the initial broadcast phase, the sender will send the given payload M to all the processes, and every process receiving this receiving message directly from the sender, like for example process P2 receives message directly from the sender S, and it has not received any other message from the sender S before that, so it will rebroadcast or echo M to all other processes in the system. Okay, and all the other processes, including the sender itself, will do likewise. So these are the first two phases of the Bracha broadcast algorithm.